yeah! Oh yeah! Here we go! 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 Let's go as we salute the men and women who wore and are still wearing the U.S. military uniform. I am, of course, Joe Ugly.
And I'm Shakiria. Guys, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Also, head over to Fanbase and show us some love.
Do that. Show us that love.
All right, let's go with our weekly recap.
So much.
You guys will be updated, but this is, I call it Trump versus Pope Leo, right?
Okay.
He's going head to head with the Pope.
Okay,
so this all started when Donald Trump is up at what? From 9:49, they documented it. He was up from 9:49 p.m. till 4:10 a.m. posting on his social media, Truth Social. No, I did not go on there because I don't care to. I copied it from Twitter. Anyways, so he's up posting himself as Jesus. That's what everyone assumed it was, right? Glowing hands, white robe things, right?
Red robe.
Right.
Red.
So he's posting himself about that. He posted about Trump Tower on the moon. He posted about the Hormuz blockade. He posted about Biden. This man is crazy, okay?
You know, I think there's a part of this that we have to also consider. He's a hard 80. He's a hard 80. Hard. So, yes. He partied like a rock star in the 80s, and it's catching up. The reality is that I'm surprised nobody is saying that he's sundowning.
He's what?
Sundowning.
Which is?
When the sun go down, as you get older, when the sun go down, it starts affecting the way you behave. And a lot of people lash out as they're older. Wow. They lash out real hard. And if you look at all of this man's tweets and his messaging and all that stuff, he goes super nuts so as soon as it's dark. This is why it's 9-something at night till 4 a.m. That's when the brain is like,
they need to give him melatonin.
Really.
Or something strong.
Something strong.
Like,
shoot it from across the room. African style. No, because
what is he doing?
When you look at it, it's, lack of sleep. He's probably scared he's going to die in his sleep. Sundowning is a serious thing.
Maybe.
It makes elderly, which he is.
Right, yeah.
It makes the elderly react to things real strong at nighttime.
That's interesting. I've volunteered at a nursing home. I've never seen this.
Never seen that.
Usually they go to bed early. Maybe they are giving them meds.
They're in bed when it's light.
I'm not there that late, so I don't know
when the nighttime comes, because my mom was in there. And you hear it going, especially in the wintertime where it gets darker
earlier.
Woo!
Yeah.
Oh, 4:30. Woo, woo.
Oh
hey!
my God. Well, whatever he's doing.
Eileen, where the hell are you?
His image of, which we're going to insert right here, is of him dressed as Jesus. That's what everyone perceived it as.
But that's what it was.
Okay?
I mean, I don't
and
care.
y'all tell us in the comments if this is what you perceive it as. And a quote from a pastor on the news, he was like, well, you don't see glowing hands on no doctor.
Really?
Who depicts himself like that? Right? And this is Trump's exact quote when he was asked by Fox News what, about him being depicted as Jesus. He said, I did post it, but I thought it was me as a doctor, as a Red Cross worker. Only the fake news can come up with that one. It's supposed to be me as a doctor because I make people better.
Even as a doctor, he's wrong. Doctors right now should be protesting. Doctors be like, oh, no, you didn't.
As a doctor, homie, where's the scrubs?
Never mind the scrubs. Oh, no, you didn't. Doctors right now should be protesting.
Protesting him.
It's like,
it would be a shame to the doctors because it's like, what's the point?
No, they should protest too. The Pope did.
The Pope did because what the Pope is doing is, right,
look, what he's doing is right. I don't care what nobody says. He is doing what's
right.
He is the authority.
And I love the fact that he's American because he understands America and the bullshit. Because he's calling
Chicago,
out, right? Bro. He's calling out people, right? Because this is what pisses him off. He's calling out people. Hey, he knows American politics. He knows how it works. Call your senator. Call your Congress people. Let them know that you're not with this war, which is not crazy.
Which is really interesting. J.D. Vance is going to talk about how the Pope, and he's a newly minted Catholic.
J.D. Vance changes his identity every 2 minutes.
Well, but
He'll be Jewish next week if it makes sense for him.
Netanyahu's take him away.
Like he changed his name, his identity, his views. Like I don't care. Like what he has to say about the Pope.
So he should have a T-shirt to say "Who is JD?"
Because he's confused. Whatever works for Peter Thiel or whoever is telling what to do is what he will be next.
Who's JD Vance?
You know what I mean?
That's a T-shirt. Go ahead.
They're all using this whole, well, in the Bible, there's, war. No. We're
not living in biblical times.
Literally. Why is it like, why
what
are you?
Is that?
Is this Bethlehem, Jerusalem? What are we in right now?
We're
like,
not
why
running
are y'all
around on
using
camels
this?
no more. We remove horse power, not even just horses. Horse power.
The Pope is soft on crime.
Yeah, right. Is he a
cop? He don't want millions of people just getting murdered for fun just because you want to do it. Yeah, he's real soft on God. God forgive him. They're telling the Pope how to Pope. Mind you, he's been doing this his whole life. His whole life.
Hey, J.D. Vance his resume is so small that he don't know how to do a damn thing.
Because he changes his identity.
Exactly. All he knows how to do is to fill in a gap for certain spaces. And when you don't have any skill sets, which has been proven in the last week, he messed it up over there in going over to talk about
Hungary?
The Straits.
The deal. He couldn't lock the deal.
Couldn't close down the deal. Try to go over there and tell Hungary, vote for this guy. They got walloped.
My question to anyone in charge of J.D. Vance, what makes you think he's capable of doing anything? Like
that, but that's the thing.
He's like a fucking chameleon. He changes what makes him work. He's not a closer.
But this is what.
But maybe they didn't want to close the deal. I don't know.
I really don't think that they wanted to close it at first, to be honest. I think
because they're benefiting from it.
The strategy of not closing the deal at first, I kind of understand because
this is the second time. The deal was first with Jared and Witkoff. This is the second time around, so hopefully third time's the charm. Maybe when gas hit $10.
Oh.
That's when it is.
I think I saw the best meme. You showed it to me.
Oh, with Iran trolling them?
2020. Trump 2028, but the 2028 is how much you got to be paying for gas?
$20.28.
$20.28.
Tell me, I'm
per gallon.
Go find me a horse.
What?
Are you crazy? I'm now. I look like I don't need to go there.
I'm going up to my brother's farm.
I don't need to go.
Saddle up one of them horses, boy. I got places.
I don't need to leave, bro.
This is going down the highway now. Joe, you got 1 horsepower, but I'm getting there.
All right. So I also want to highlight about Pope Leo, right? The fact that he was a Republican. He was, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So he was a Republican up until 2016.
So he had a Saul. No, I'm not going to put the Pope in that line.
No.
He had a come to Jesus moment.
Yeah. and for people who left the Republican Party when Trump became the Republican Party pretty much, fair enough, homie.
I think that's fair enough. But the Republican Party started going in this direction back with John McCain pulling, not John McCain, but his sidekick, Sarah Palin.
Yes,
and
but not as extreme.
She started pushing this Tea Party nonsense. And then they came with, the Don't Tread on Me crew.
Yeah.
And then next thing you know, it was
MAGA
hard
body boy.
And
so much so that
this is MAGA 5.0, never mind 2.0.
They're not even mad about, some of them are, but not enough for them to be like, dude,
it's a cult.
It is a cult.
Let's call it what it is. When you have facts in front of you and you refuse to pay attention to it, at some point you got to realize they're in a cult.
Yeah. No,
we got to call it for what it is.
It's a cult.
And how do people get caught up in cult? They're looking for something to align that aligns with their minute belief.
Yep.
And they're looking for something to make that little belief evolve. And that's where you get a cult. And that's a quick way to
We're going to roll into formation.
fall in.
All right. So Trump's VA killed the home loan program safety net VASP. So we were talking about this, right? So it was reported that 10,000 veterans have lost their homes to foreclosure since May of 2025 because the Trump regime shut down a key safety net in the VA home loan program called VASP, which makes it the highest pace for foreclosure for the VA home loan in over a decade. And they're reporting that over 90,000 veterans are heading in that same direction. So I would like to preface this, though. I'm not throwing all the blame on Trump. This did start during the Biden administration, right? The VA shut down their pandemic assistance program, obviously, because COVID was happening, and struggling, which would help you as a homeowner so you can skip your mortgage payments.
Right.
The shutdown of that,
But didn't Biden bring that back?
they did. They brought something back, but it wasn't. They didn't keep it in line. So the shutdown, right? So you weren't able to. If you weren't able to pay your monthly mortgage, you were able to skip it.
Right.
They done shut down that assistant program, right? Which then they had to go and pay everything up front.
Oh, everything
All
that
of
was.
them.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So then you had to suddenly make all those payments. And VA did come in. They did step in. This is where they step in and halted the foreclosures for a year. However, Republicans in Congress said, okay, we're going to fix it and replace it. They didn't fix it, nor did they replace it. But who's surprised? So because they didn't fix it or replace it, the mortgage industry came out and said, homie, if y'all don't fix this, it's going to end badly. And it's going to end in foreclosures. They were right. It happened. They didn't fix it, nor did they replace it. They shut it down completely. Completely.
And then we wonder why there's homeless vets.
You served your country. You can't
Yeah.
even have a house.
You can't. You're doing everything. You're trying to work. You're doing everything right, and then comes the safety nets that you earn. You earn those safety nets. Those are not something that just was given on to you. No, you earn. First of all, let me help you understand something, people. Your benefits, you've earned that. So when you sign on that dotted line, you sign a contract. Now, with any contract, the person who you're signing that contract to have to secure what it is that they giving you, what they're signing to.
Yep.
So, by that rationale, when you sign that dotted line, funds are already allocated for your benefits.
Yep.
If you don't use them, now all of a sudden, waste, fraud, and abuse can easily kick in because it's your money you're giving away.
Yeah, you're not taking advantage of it.
You're not taking advantage of those benefits that you signed. You signed an agreement. Tell that to an NFL player. Tell that to an NBA player. Tell it to a hockey player, NHL player. Tell it to any player, any sports person who signed a contract. Tell that to their agent. They're not getting that check. See how that work out.
Right. Yeah.
Okay? It don't work like that. It does not work like that. So, when you sign that contract to go into the military, those funds are allocated. Somewhere along the line, those funds has to be there to...
Yep. As long as you get out with a general,
Exactly.
you behave in the military,
That's
you come
right.
out, you're guaranteed that VA home loan.
There you go. So, those veterans who earned it and used it to get their homes,
Yep.
and now and the reason why a lot of veterans get that is because of the safety net.
Yeah.
The mortgage industry look at it and say, okay, this loan is secure should this veteran default.
Well, right. Yep. That's what it's for. Yep.
Right. So now 1% of the population who most of them never served, if any of them ever served in the military, is getting your money.
Absolutely.
Think of that.
They're
They're running around with your money. They're buying their new yacht.
And what hurts me, right, is when the mortgage industry reported that and NPR reported that a lot of the veterans, obviously having disability compensation, had the means to keep their house had this program not been trashed.
Right.
So if they kept VASP, these people, almost 100,000 people would have kept their homes. But Republicans in Congress, and it's why when veterans say they're Republicans and they're voting, I never understand because they don't do nothing for veterans. If it was up to them, we wouldn't have shit.
A lot of people vote against their interest. They vote.
That white skin ain't looking so good now, is it?
Really?
When you ain't got a house, you gonna sleep under the bridge.
It's unbelievable. Unbelievable,
ridiculous, bro.
So
absolutely ridiculous.
It's like, let me help you understand something, people. VA benefits, the GI Bill, is what put most of you white Americans in the suburbs. Mm-hmm. It's what give most of you white Americans education.
Yep.
This is not a black thing. This is a veterans thing. You got what you got because you served. And if you didn't get it, it's because your parents served. Mm-hmm. So they were able to put you in college. Yep. Able to put a roof over your head. Let's not get it crazy. We go.
Into hot topics.
Sizzling.
Good old Kegseth now says service
What do you call
members.
him?
Kegseth.
Kegseth. Kegseth.
Like I said, if he has no haters, I am dead. Okay. Kegseth says service members can now carry personal weapons on military base. Right.
God.
So on Thursday, he announced he will now allow service members to carry personal weapons.
Don't they have to be approved by Congress?
So there's I don't know about the Congress part, but it'll come down to commander on the installation that you're at. His thing is for this carrying of weapons, because before you had weapons, you had to check them in and check them out and whatever the case may be. Now he's saying because of the recent shootings that happened.
How is that going to help? More guns?
So it is because it was a service member who pulled a gun. He's saying if you had a gun, you could just pew pew and you would have fixed the problem. That's what he claims. Okay, but we know he don't think far. He doesn't think. Period. Anywho, so he's saying service members can have it, for their protection and the other protection of other people. Obviously, it's not finalized, and once again, it will come down to commanders with sense, hopefully, on those installations that will allow service members to carry it. And I believe it's on like case by case basis.
If I was a commander, I'd be like, nope, because name one commander of a base that some people don't hate. I'm out here in these woods. This is stupid. And you want that person carrying a gun? Yeah. Really? Probably got some serious PTSD.
You don't want them carrying a gun.
You don't want them
unless it's necessary. Because we just had a shooting, and this is how this makes sense in mind. We had a shooting on base, right? In his mind, in his drunken, dissolute mind. Someone shot a service member that had issues on base, had a gun, shot somebody else. Mind you, he had issues. That's why he did it.
Mm-hmm. Was he black?
Yes.
That's why. Give them guns. We'll shoot them all.
So,
get that out. That's the mindset.
There's always that part.
The goddamn,
there's always that part.
Damn darkies coming up in here with their guns, shooting our good white people. Why don't we give our people some guns so we can have an even fight until mass shooting comes out? A big fire. You see soldiers shooting from out of the barracks windows down in the
Because what you need
big
is
shootout. That's what you want.
The rest soldiers who hates their lives or Marines, whatever, Navy, whatever, who hates their lives, hates their peers, and they hate them peers, especially them people in charge of them.
Yep.
To have a weapon and decide, I could use this.
Yeah.
Because I know sometimes I thought about doing some stuff. And I'm not saying if I had a gun, I would do it. But if I'm more relatively level-headed. Not everybody's like me.
But the thing about guns is that once they're in your possession, it does give a sense of physical power.
I don't know.
And that's
carry one.
And that's what you're going to let people run around with. someone get yelled at by a sergeant and they're gonna come back and just be cool, I'm just gonna clean my weapon. Yeah, right.
Yeah. Someone said something, and I was like, Heck said this is where he lives. He lives in Call of Duty.
Yes.
This is like his world, and
Yes.
he sees the military from a Call of Duty perspective.
Hit it
That's
right on
it.
the head.
He's not in real life. He's not here. This nigga is having church services. He's not here. He's hammered, and he thinks he's in Call of Duty. And I'll go from that's all I'll say.
We often give ideas, we give opinions and suggestions of what you should do when you're exiting. So this one, I'll set aside something just for newer veterans, people who are coming out. Just to let you know, you need to, and I know we have discussed this many times before, and I just think that I'm just going to reiterate to you guys who are coming out, you've earned access to support. We were just talking about it. So you need to use your veterans resource. Don't skip this. U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs, Health, Disability Counseling. You should definitely be on that. We were just talking about it. Hire Heroes USA, free career. They give free career coaching and resumes. Veterans of Foreign Wars, which is the VFW, community support networks. You should do that. And most importantly, build a civilian network. These are just some of the tips that I'm just throwing out here. I'm going to call this segment, What's Next? This is your what's next after you come out of the military. What's next? Because a lot of you guys come out, even as we're giving all of this information, even as you get this information, half of you on your exit interview anywhere is not paying attention. You're thinking of heading home. So you're looking at, I'm just telling you right now what to do. And that's what's next.
Okay.
On that note, thank you guys for hanging out with us as we salute the men and women who wore and are still wearing the U.S. military uniform.
Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you'll be notified every time we upload. Also, head over to Fanbase and show us some love.
Ding! Show us that love.
Hell yeah! Hell yeah! Here we go! 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 Here we go!